Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our fabulous show with Rehab, the 411. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It feels like it's been a while because there's been so much craziness happening.
Yes. Happy New Year. Here we are.
I know. Here we are. We are.
Yes.
And we're ready to go again. Y'all stay ready, though, because you have so much going on. So that's really what we're going to talk about today. It's kind of just a recap and then what's ahead.
Yeah. So, yes, we are constantly on the move, and we've got lots of events going on. We've got lots of services taking care of patients. So we're very blessed. So, so I think, to kind of talk a little bit through 2021, if everybody remembers, we had the flood.
Yes.
And we're going up on almost a year now. That happened in February of last year. So, and we are still recovering from that as far as reconstruction and fixing the damage. And we just, I want to first start out by thanking our patients and our providers for their patience through that, because it has not been easy for them to come in through a construction zone and see their therapist or their audiologist, not really knowing what part of the building they're going to go to and what it's going to look like. But they've just been super respectful of that and understanding, and we're thankful. So, but here we are almost a year later, and we have had some great things happen through the remodel. Our audiology department is almost complete with 3 state-of-the-art brand new sound booths and all new equipment. So it makes their job easier and it makes it a better experience for our patients. So we're super excited about that. Our adult therapy department is almost complete with their remodel. So they're adding more space so they can treat more patients and take care of more people, make their waiting room a little bit bigger, a little bit more inviting. And we're ready to get occupational therapy back over in our building. They've been treating temporarily over in our admin building. So we're hoping to have that complete by spring. That's our goal. And so that's going to be a whole new look. We've got all new floors. We've got new paint. We've got just a nice fresh look to our building.
It's basically a brand new building.
It pretty much is, yes, little by little. So we're still working through that. There's still some projects that we're working on. But if you are coming in right now as a patient or with a family member, you've probably noticed those changes. And so it's looking really good, and we're excited about that. So
it is. It is looking phenomenal. I was able to go in there, when Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen were here.
You were there for the tour.
It is amazing.
So, through all of that, silver lining, we've had some really good, things happening. So, but as far as patient care goes, we're still taking care of patients every day. And we're just doing it now with, more certifications, more qualified staff. Continuing education is very big for West Texas Rehab. So we're sending our therapists and our clinicians off to learn all the latest and the greatest. And they're coming back and are able to improve the quality of life of those that they're treating every day in our doors. Our hospice department is still, out there doing their jobs. Through all of this, they have managed to continue to go and take care of patients during that very critical time of need in their life. And we're blessed to be able to do that. They were able to move into their building last year in May. So Hospice of San Angelo is now officially at our campus, and we're so blessed by that. So it's made a big difference for their staff and their morale, and to just be able to have a nice new building to come and take a breath in at the end of the day. So we're blessed by that. So so just like a recap on that, we're getting there. We're still working through it. COVID is still very real, as everybody knows, but we're still taking all the precautions necessary to make sure our staff and our patients are, in a safe environment. So we encourage them to continue to come and let us take care of them. So.
That is, that's amazing. So, okay, for people who may not realize, you mentioned a lot of your services, but y'all do so much. And you're working to bring that all under one roof and all in the same campus and everything.
It's wild. The spectrum of care that West Texas Rehab provides is like no other. We really truly say we treat patients from birth to death, because our pediatric therapists treat patients in the NICU when they're born, itty bitty babies, all the way through our hospice services at end of of life. So it's just, it's full spectrum, and that's very unique. And that's what makes us West Texas Rehab, is that we're able to do all of that under one roof, and make it a seamless experience for our patients, all being able to do that with, our mission as a nonprofit to take care of all of them regardless of their financial circumstance. So when you walk through our doors, we're going to be asking you, what can we do for you today, not how are you going to pay for your care. And that really does make a big difference, especially when some of these people have had a very traumatic experience or diagnosis, life, altering, experience. It could have been a stroke. It could have been, like I said, a diagnosis that they weren't expecting. It could be a child that was born with, something that parents were not prepared for, all of those things. So we want them, when they come through our doors, to just be able to take a breath.
Yes.
And know that they're in the best place that they can be for the care that they're getting, and that when they get out, that they're just going to overcome any obstacles that might have been set in their way with our help. So we're just there to guide them through those steps.
That's amazing. Yeah, because the last thing you want to think about is the stress of, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? How am I going to do this? What am I going to? I got to work 3 jobs now. So that is just taken away.
It is, and that is because of our donors and because of the supporters that we have that believe in our mission and believe in what we do. And most of them have a rehab story. Yeah. The reason that they decided to give is because they have a rehab story. They were personally, affected by, what goes on under our roof, and they want to give back. And so that's why we're able to, to move it forward to somebody else. So it's really great. So.
That is amazing. And considering, how many people y'all see on a daily basis?
Yes. So we're seeing about 680 patients a day between our 3 locations. Yeah. And of course, with hospice services, between Hospice of San Angelo and Hospice of the Big Country, we service 27 counties. So you're not talking about San Angelo and Abilene, you're talking about Big Lake, you're talking about Ozona, you're talking about Ballinger, where all of our family and friends are, So.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of families here, they live close together, maybe not in the same city or the same town, but they're close within a short drive.
Mom and Dad is in Eden, grandma's in, in El Dorado. Yeah. And they don't have to necessarily go to a huge metroplex area to get the services that they can get at West Texas Rehab. And it's exceptional care.
Yeah, I was about to say, you brought this up earlier, the continuing education, because the medical field is constantly evolving.
Always, yes, always. And, students that are coming out of school now are, they're getting the top education that they can get. But on top of that, like you said, everything's changing. So we want to be able to send our clinicians for continuing education so they can treat the patients with the latest and the greatest. And, I say all the bells and whistles, because you don't want to come in and be like, well, sorry, we can't do that because, we don't know how to do that. We're not educated on that, or we don't have that piece of equipment or that technology. I guarantee you at West Texas Rehab, we probably have it. Yeah. So, and that's because of our donors as well. We are so blessed for somebody to come in and say, I see that you don't have that piece of equipment. Is that something that I can, that would benefit you? Absolutely. Let's make that happen. So, it's just amazing. Yeah. It really is.
The donors are amazing. We've talked about this all the time, but they see a need.
Yes.
They instantly.
Yes. And we have such a giving community. I don't know how it, equivalates to other, communities, but I can say that in San Angelo, Abilene, Big Country, Concho Valley, we're very blessed.
Ours is the best.
Ours is the best. And we are so blessed with the donors and the supporters that we have. So it makes us be able to do our job, a little bit easier. So, and we definitely have a lot going on in 2022, but it's all good things, and we want it to be a bright spot in people's life when they get to us, not something that they feel like they're coming in and are not going to have a good experience. We want them when they get there, and from the moment they get there to the moment that they get discharged, for it to just be a great experience.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you said, they've been through enough already. And so one of the things that we've mentioned before is the tailored care.
Yes.
to their specific needs and where they are now.
It's typically one-on-one. I mean, you know, which you don't get that necessarily everywhere you go. And when you come in and you're paired with a clinician, I guarantee you they're going to be the expert in whatever it is you're coming in for. We have women's health experts. We have, you know, balance experts. We have audiologists that are doctorate level. We have orthotists and prosthetists that are trained in just that field, you know. So when you're coming in, let's say, for example, you have balance or vertigo issues, you're going to come in and see our balance specialist, not just somebody that knows a little bit about.
Oh, they're there that day.
They're a little bit about it, but, you know, no, they're going to see our balance specialist, and they're going to see them every time they come in. One-on-one. So it really is a different experience, you know, and we're proud of that.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of for sure. Because like you said, you don't get that everywhere.
No, you don't. Not to knock anybody else or say that they're not doing a good job as well, but I guarantee you that when you come to us, it's going to be the best experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Well, okay, so speaking of experiences,
yes,
people getting involved.
Yes.
How can they do that? How can they really see what y'all do?
Yeah, so there's so many different ways. You know, attend one of our fundraising events, which we are always, you know, having.
We're
everywhere. You can find a little bit of anything. If you are a golfer, we have a golf tournament. If you like, you know, to shoot sporting clays, we've got that. If you know, enjoy going to a fancy dinner, we do that. So we have plenty of events you can attend. So I highly encourage you to go to any and all of those, if that's what you want to do. You know, come advocate for yourself or your family member to get services at West Texas Rehab, because you do have a choice, and you should always know that. No matter what your choice is, it is your choice as a patient to choose where you want to go for your care. So advocate for yourself or your family member to come to West Texas Rehab or Hospice of San Angelo for that care.
Yeah,
that's a big key. And then you know, tell about your experience with your loved ones and your family, and let them know what great care you got at West Texas Rehab, and pay it forward and come see us. And so, you know, word of mouth marketing is the best marketing.
Of course.
No doubt about that. So if you had a good experience, and you then tell your friends and family, this is my experience. There's nowhere else you want to go.
Yeah.
So, or you can volunteer. We have lots of volunteer opportunities at our events through Hospice of San Angelo, which has, you know, volunteers through hospice care. So, you know, if that's your calling, you feel like you want to give back in that way, then give back, you know, through volunteering. Or if you want to make a donation, feel moved to do that, then we always encourage that. And that's always an easy process as well. That can be done by picking up the phone and calling us and saying you'd like to make a donation, doing it through our website, which is certainly easy. You know, there's all kinds of ways. You can do a memorial or an honorarium for a loved one in their name, you know, to West Texas Rehab. So there's different ways that you can make a donation. And we want that to be an easy process as well.
Of course. And, you know, we've talked about this before. It doesn't have to be $10,000.
Oh, our most common donation is $25.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing. And $25 to somebody may be all that they have to give, versus somebody that, you know, is blessed and can give more. So whatever you're moved to give will be appreciated.
Yeah. And it'll go to good use. I mean, that's the main thing.
Every single dollar goes right back to patient care.
Right.
We have, for our patient care, what we call our donor sponsorship program, which is just, I guess, this mythical pot of money, donations that is what we pull from when somebody comes in and can't afford our services.
Yeah.
So I've witnessed it, where we go and tell that family, you know, your services are going to be, you know, taken care of. You don't have to worry about that. And I've literally seen them just take a deep breath and get emotional, because they know, okay, I don't have to worry about that part of it. I can focus on getting better.
Wow, that must be. I would get emotional.
Oh, it's so impactful and just humbling, and makes me so proud to work at West Texas Rehab.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we definitely need to share some of those stories if we can. And
yes.
So speaking of stories, y'all have a lot of those on your website.
Yes, we do. So our website is a great resource. So westtexasrehab.org, it has all of the information that you can ever want about our services and programs, our events, job listings that we may have. And it is filled with patient stories, inspirational stories, people that have come in and, had a good experience, a good story to tell, and they're willing to tell it, and we share it. So it's great. You can go on our YouTube channel, and we've got lots of great past patient stories as well. Always follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And so you can go on any of those, and we are constantly flooding it with great patient inspiring stories that it just tears at your heartstrings and makes you go, that's good stuff.
It is good. You can get lost scrolling on some of their pages.
You can. You really can. You really can. So,
that is awesome.
Yes.
Well, I mean, okay, so do you want to talk about all the events, because
I have a lot. We've got a few coming up. Of course, our telethon is our biggest fundraiser, and that is coming up on January 22nd. And that will be you can live stream it on our website, or it's going to be on KSAN and KLST.
Yes.
This is crazy. So apparently football is, there's a little bit of football playoffs going on. So depending on when the game falls on that day, we will for sure be broadcasting live on KSAN.
Yes.
And if it is an afternoon game, then we will also be on KLST. But if it is an evening football game, then we will just be on KSAN. So just, we'll keep you posted on that. So we've got that coming up. And then we have Dancing with the Stars coming up in April, which was just revealed yesterday. All of our stars. We've got a lot of them, and we've got a lot of good stars that are just.
I'm excited for them. There's just so much energy. This group.
It's going to be so much
fun.
Yes, and they're all just awesome in their own unique way, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table as far as their dance. So
I can't wait
that's a super fun event to go to. Yeah, so those are kind of two big events that we have coming up in the spring that, we want people to get excited about. So, and they can find out more information about that by getting on our website or always calling our donor relations department, and they can get them hooked up. So
fantastic. Lots of good stuff today. We covered a whole lot.
Yes, I know it's a lot, but I appreciate you taking the time to let me talk
for
about
sure.
it.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts or messages you want to share?
I think just Happy New Year to everybody. It's 2022. Let's make this a good, exciting, awesome year. And if you or anyone that you know is in need of our services and programs, we highly encourage you to, advocate for yourself and ask your doctor for a referral.
Perfect. Amen to that.
Amen.
Can't top that. All right. Well, thanks again, Suzanne, for joining us. Thank you all for watching. Hey, we'll see you next time. But until then, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.